What's up, guys? In today's video we're going to be going over Red Giant's universe plugins, how to use them in Davinci Resolve. I made a video, two videos about this like a month ago, but I'm not happy with how deep I went into them, or shallow, I guess. It was not so good. But in today's video we're going to be going deep into it. I'm going to be showing you my favorite tools to use, which tools you can use over other tools, which tools work really well in Davinci Resolve, and some that don't work as well in Davinci Resolve. But before we get into the video, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for subscribing. Over the last few days, this channel has grown like 50% in terms of subscribers, and I've been getting more views, so I just want to say thank you for subscribing. I appreciate the heck out of you. So without any further ado, let's jump into that computer. Alright guys, so here we are in the computer. I've got my clip in our timeline here. It's just a pretty boring drone shot of a pier. Pans over to the beach. So we're going to make a few cuts in this just so that I am able to show you guys some of the transitions that are allowed with Red Giant Universe plugins. So we've got our cuts in, and then to get to your Red Giant Universe plugins, you're going to go over here to Open FX. If you don't have your effects library open, like this, yours just looks like this. Come up to the top here, click on Effects Library, come down, click on Open FX, and then we're going to type in Uni, because all of the Red Giant Universe plugins have Uni at the beginning, so that you're more easily able to distinguish them from all of the basic plugins or any other plugins that you may have. So now that we've typed in Uni, we have three main categories in here. We've got filters, we have transitions, and we've got generators. So in the filters we have utilities, motion graphics, text, stylize, glows, and some generators, as well as distortions and some blurs. In the transitions we've just got transitions, and in the generators we've got generators. Pretty simple, pretty easy to look at, pretty easy to understand. So the first thing here that we're going to use in the utility section is the Fisheye Fixer. And since this is not a fisheye clip, you're not going to see it fix the fisheye, but if you're shooting on something like a GoPro or something like that and you're trying to edit your footage, you just drop this on there and whoop, you can see that it brings in these edges, pulls them closer so they're not quite so far away, and then you've got your fisheye fixed and it looks pretty flat. You can change your lens angle here, so you can go narrow, you can go super view, especially for GoPros, and it'll just pull all that in different amounts as you change your presets in the lens angle, and you can adjust it more fine-tuned with this fine-tune slider. Alright, so next up in the motion graphics, we are going to use this line. Just drop that line on your footage and you're going to see it pop up, and it by default is an arrow, but in order to change that, again, we just come up to our inspector, hit Open FX, and then you can browse their presets or you can make your own, but I find that a lot of their presets are really quite good. So we're just going to use this circle ends one, and it's just a line, and if you want to change anything about it, everything is right here. So if you wanted to make it so that this was all the same color, you'd come in here and you would drop down 0.1 attributes, and then you would change this to match the color there. And if you want to pull a color from your screen, you just click Pick Screen Color, and then you boop right there, and then you've got this all the same color. Just hit OK, you're set to go. You can change the sizes of your points, you can change your rotations. Generally that's not going to matter so much for a circle, but if you had it as like a triangle, you could change the rotation of that triangle. You can change everything about this thing, and that's a great feature to have. Alright, so that's lines. That's our one from motion graphics. Now in the text, we're going to check out title motion. We're going to drag title motion on. We're going to go up to Browse Presets, and we're going to pick a preset out of here. And we're going to take one of these lower third ones. We're just going to take this little clean line right here, and we're going to edit our text. Alright, so now this has popped up. We're going to change this to tutorial, and then we're going to click in line 2 and make that text. So generally you'd put like a name and then a title down here, so that it would show the name and the title up there. We're going to hit OK, and then we're going to go to a midpoint in the video, because when this is first put up, it is keyframed just by default. So if you hit play, it'll go through, it'll pop out. It's all set up for you, and then I don't think it has an end keyframe by default. Yeah, no. So it's all set up, it'll pop out from the side, it'll blur in, and then it'll just stay there, and then it will disappear. If you want it to go away, you have to change its end properties, so you get to a midpoint where it's all fully out there, and then you have to keyframe your rotation, scale, whatever you're looking to change about it before it goes away. That's my favorite one to use in the text category, but try out the other ones too, because a lot of them are really cool. So we're going to get rid of this, and then we're going to get into my favorite category, or well, probably one of my favorite categories, and that is the stylize effects. So just to show you, I'm going to use the VHS one to pop that on there. That's going to load in, and you're going to see that it gets that nice like VHS grain. It gets some lines in it, makes it look like it was shot on an old tape. And again, you've got all sorts of controls with this. You can change the color of the artifacts in here, the interlace error as it's called here. You can change all sorts of stuff. We're going to get rid of the VHS, and then I'll drag out the retrograde onto this footage. And you'll see that again, it gives it that fully changed, complete package of a style. And then just one last one out of the stylize, just because I think it's so cool that it's able to do all this stuff, and it's just so quick and easy. You literally just drag it out there, boom, and then bang, your footage is done. Open that in your OpenFX tab up here, and then you can change the contrast when you're using Finisher. You can change the exposure, the saturation, everything. It's super nice. So we're going to delete that one. We're going to go down, and the glows are kind of cool. So we're just going to use edge glow, and what happens when you use edge glow is exactly what you would think. If you saw that, I don't know, it was pretty subtle on this one, but if you're using a piece of footage that has a lot of lines in it, that edge glow is going to become very apparent. So we're going to make it a lot bigger here so you're able to see it. You can see that on that pier over there, it's making that glow. So we'll bring that radius down, and then it will just pick the edges in your footage and make them glow. And that's pretty awesome, because if you're using like a quick edit and you're like in a city or something, you want some lines to light up, this is a fantastic tool for you to be using. Alright, so next up are universe generators, and these are the filter generators, and I'm not a huge fan of these because they completely demolish your footage when you put them on there. Like, your footage will go away, as you can see right there. Not so good unless you're looking for something to like put text on, or if you need some kind of crazy background for your green screen. But just like with everything else, pop up here into OpenFX, you can change all the things about this. Also, browse presets. I've got a bunch of presets, just like a bunch of the other plugins. So that's enough with the filter generators. Get rid of that. We're going to go down into our distortions, and our distortions, those can be pretty cool for edits. So what we're going to do with this one is, you don't see anything right away because you have to make it more intense. But all these things over here are keyframeable, and as you move this over, you'll start to see like that 3D glasses effect kind of come into play. And the more you slide that, the more intense. You can slide it back in, you can go the other way with it, all sorts of stuff. You can change the angle. That was intense. Alright, angle. And you can just mess with your color channels with that, and it's pretty fun to do, and it can look really cool in some edits. Change the distortion, all sorts of stuff. We're going to delete that filter. Pretty clear to see what it does. These all the same way, but I mean obviously not RGB separation, but they all do their own thing and they're all very customizable. So for blurs, blurs are pretty self-explanatory. It's just a blur, and again, nothing from the get-go, but as you drag that up, you can see that it gets more blurry. If you uncheck this proportional box, you can change it so that it goes up and down or left to right. And that can be fun for like directional blurs, and all of this is keyframeable just like with pretty much everything else. Get rid of that blur. Blur is pretty self-explanatory, like I said. We're going to get into probably my favorite section here, and these are the transitions. So with the transitions, we'll start with the swish pan because it's one that a lot of people would associate with this beach scene. And as you can see by this little red line, I do have smart render turned on, which means that it sees that this isn't going to play very well right now. So it's going to turn this red bar blue, and when that red bar is blue, we'll be able to play through that transition at full speed. So we'll hit play. Whoosh! Just like that, you've got a whip pan transition. Even if you are whipping your camera while you're shooting, this is a helpful thing to have just because it can make it look that much more smooth. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here so I can click on that, and then you can see that you can change your duration of your transition. You can change all of the transition things, but then in OpenFX you can change your background opacity, your background color, direction of your swish, everything that you could want to change, you can change between these two tabs. So we're going to get rid of this one, and then we are going to just pull out a random one over here. We're going to inside cube, and then that's going to have to render. Alright, so now that that's blue, again, play it at full speed. Wow! So that one's going to be fun for like a slideshow or something. If you've got a bunch of pictures and you're trying to just give them that little extra bit of spice. I can't really see myself using that in a video edit, but it still can be a pretty useful transition. And again, just like the other one, click on it. Up here you can change the duration, you can change your ease and out, you can change how much it goes back and forth, you can change the direction, the smoothing, literally everything about it you can change. So we are going to get rid of that and move right along because the rest of the transitions, same idea, they're transitions. You get it. Alright, so now we get into generators. I'm not a huge fan of these either because they do tend to work more like a completely block your footage kind of deal, but they, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the generators that the Red Giant Universe plugins offer, like the filter plugin, the filter generators, or the generators, because if you watch what happens, you just pop that on there. Where did it go? You just pop that on there, boom, we're right here. It just kind of puts this over your footage, and you can change it around in your controls up here, but I don't know. You can change the opacity, but I don't know. There are other ways to do these things that just feel better. Like most of the tools they give you here speed you up, but this one I feel like for what you get, like final result wise, out of these generators, I'd prefer to do something else, like any of their transitions or anything like that. So we're going to get rid of that. And yeah, that's it. That's where you find your Red Giant Universe plugins. That's how you use them, how to change their properties and everything like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was informational for you. If you did learn anything, hit me with one of those likes down below the video. If you're looking to get more content from me about Davinci Resolve, cameras, camera lenses, anything like that, anything in the videography and photography space really, just hit that subscribe button, because I release new videos every Monday and Wednesday that are going to help you out. If you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, or if you just want to chat, hit me in those comments down below, and we'll have a chat, and I'll help you with your questions. We'll just, yeah, so I'll see you down there. If you're looking to watch another video about Davinci Resolve, check out this playlist right here. If you want to see the video that YouTube thinks that you should watch, check out this video right here. And like I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. I'm here to help you. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.